Poker is a game of logic, of math, of probability. But for Daniel Negreanu, it's something else entirely. He doesn't just read betting patterns, he reads people. The eyes, the breathing, the silence between moves. And when he locks in, it's like he's seeing your cards before you even look at them. We're talking soul reads, hero folds, calls with bottom pair that somehow hit. Moments where the entire table thinks he's bluffing until he's not. Or hands where he lets go of monsters just because something didn't feel right. In this video, you're about to witness 10 reads that defy logic. From high-stakes bluffs to silent stare-downs. These aren't just good plays, they're freaking psychic. So here's the question. Is Daniel Negreanu the best reader in poker history? Stick around. Decide for yourself. The flop misses everyone. All three players check. On the turn, Helmuth suddenly fires a bluff, betting 7,000 chips into two legends. It's bold, it's risky, but it's also weak. Daniel senses it. Without a made hand, he calls, cool and collected. Doyle folds what turns out to be the best hand. The river comes. Helmuth bets again, 6,000 this time. Daniel doesn't just call, he raises to 46,000. Helmuth freezes. Daniel stays quiet, eyes locked, expression blank. Then he speaks, I think you've got nothing. Helmuth folds. Daniel shows bottom pair. This wasn't a hero call. This was a surgical read, slicing through the bluff with precision. In a pot filled with legends, Daniel's instincts came out on top. One hand could change everything. He shoves all in with just ace high. Daniel holds a weak 9, his only live card. Any logical player folds. But Daniel, he sees something. A shaky hand, a pause, a glance that didn't feel right. He calls. One time, one run out. One dream on the line. The cards come, flop, turn, river, no help for the amateur. Daniel's 9 holds up. The dream wedding? Gone. The cannon stares blankly. Devastated, Daniel with a calm voice says, good game. He didn't just beat the hand, he read the situation better than anyone else could. No calculations, no charts, just instinct and a ruthless edge. It's painful to watch. But it's a masterclass in pressure reading. When the stakes are emotional, Daniel stays cold. And that's why he's one of the best. Back in 2001, Daniel was deep in the World Series of Poker main event. He held ace-king, got it all in, and lost to pocket sixes. That haunted him. Now, years later, he's in the exact same spot. Deep run, same tournament, and again, he picks up ace-king. He raises. One opponent re-raises, another shoves all in. It's a monster pot. The crowd watches, and Daniel, he talks it out. You have the best possible hand, he mutters. Maybe ace-king, but I don't think so. He studies every move, every hesitation. Then with full conviction, he folds. Moments later, the cards are revealed. Pocket aces. Daniel's ace-king would have cost him most of his stack. But he trusted his gut and walked away. That's not just a good fold. That's a moment of discipline that few players have. Where others hope, Daniel knows. And that knowing comes from years of training, thousands of hands, and a sixth sense for tension. He didn't win chips in that hand, but he gained something more important. Everyone at the table learned, you can't fool Daniel Negreanu. Kristen Foxen is no amateur. She's widely regarded as one of the top female players in the world. So when she goes up against Daniel, it's not a casual match. It's a battle between elites. The flop comes 9, 9, 3. Foxen hits a small pair. Daniel, absolutely nothing. She leads out. Daniel calls. The turn changes little. Foxen bets again. This time, 550,000 chips. She's building pressure, expecting Daniel to fold. But instead, he check raises all in. A complete bluff. Nothing but air. What's wild isn't just that he made the move, it's when he made it. At a time when he had no equity, no draw, and no real reason to push, Daniel flipped the script. Foxen tanks. She knows Daniel's dangerous. But in this moment, even she doesn't expect a naked bluff. She folds. Daniel rakes in a massive pot. That wasn't math. That wasn't range analysis. That was pure, unfiltered feel. Sometimes Daniel doesn't need cards. He just needs a heartbeat and a reason. Everyone has a favorite hand. For Daniel, that's 10-7 offsuit. This time, he picks it up and opens the action. His opponent, Scott Seaver, calls. The flop? King, queen, deuce. Misses both players. Daniel bets. Scott calls. Turn? Still nothing. But Daniel fires again. 14,000 chips. Scott calls again. He's hanging in there with high card. The river is another blank. Daniel's got no pair, no draw, just 10 high. Still, he bets again. 36,000. It's a triple barrel bluff, and somehow it works. Scott folds. Daniel laughs and reveals the cards. 10 of clubs and 7 of diamonds. It's not about the hand, it's about the story he told. Bet by bet, Daniel represented strength, and Scott believed him. That's what makes him so deadly. He doesn't need great cards to win pots. He just needs the ability to make you believe he has them. At a super high roller event, Daniel picks up ace-king, but this time, he misclicks. Instead of raising to 2,900, he raises to 29,000, an 11 times raise. Everyone at the table freezes. Was that real? His opponent, Steve Silverman, sees the oversized bet and assumes Daniel is weak, maybe nervous, maybe bluffing. So what does Steve do? He goes all in for over 300,000 chips. Daniel snap calls. The cards go on their backs. Daniel has ace-king and Steve has king-jack suited. Daniel dominates him. The board runs out clean and Daniel doubles up. Now here's the twist. Was it really a misclick? He claims it was. But his body language? His timing? That's what makes Daniel so dangerous. And whether it was accidental or genius, it worked. Big time. In this hand, Daniel goes up against the legendary Johnny World Hennigan. Daniel flops a straight. The turn changes nothing. But the river? It pairs the board. Suddenly, full houses are possible. Daniel bets anyway, 3,500 chips. Johnny check raises. Big. Over 10,000. The crowd leans in. Daniel sits still, thinking. His brain starts running through every possibility. He replays the hand, step by step. Then he says, "You've got Jack-9 of diamonds." Johnny smiles but doesn't say a word. Daniel folds face up. A king-high straight. An absolute monster. And Johnny? He did have Jack-9 of diamonds. The only hand that beat Daniel. He called it. Not just the strength. Not just a full house. The exact cards. There's reading a hand, and then there's mind reading. This one felt like magic. Back in the 2006 National Heads-Up Championship, Daniel faces off with Greg Fosselman-Raymer. Greg had been bluff-heavy all match. Daniel only has second pair. It's a massive bet. The table goes quiet. Daniel leans back in his chair and says softly, "I gotta go with my gut." And then he calls. Greg sighs. "You win." Daniel nods. No celebration, no ego, just another accurate read in a long list of them. This wasn't about math. It was about feel, about years of experience, about trusting his inner compass when everything said, fold. He went with his gut, and it led him straight to the truth. Bryn Kenny is no joke. He's one of the most successful tournament players of all time. Daniel knows this, and still, he chooses to go for it. The flop misses both players. Daniel bets. Bryn calls with ace high. The turn changes nothing. Daniel fires again. 2/3 pot. Bryn calls again. The river is a total blank. Now most players would give up. Not Daniel. He bets 85,000 chips. A massive third barrel. Bryn tanks. It's a suspicious line. The board didn't change. There's no real story being told. But Daniel sells it. Posture, breathing, stillness. Bryn finally folds. Daniel flips it over. 10-3 offsuit. Absolute garbage. Bryn looks stunned. Daniel just smirks. Because this wasn't about the cards, this was about conviction. If you're going to bluff, you bluff like you mean it. And Daniel did. Daniel Negreanu doesn't just play poker, he plays people. From cold calls to soul reads, he proves time and time again that intuition beats intimidation. Where others see chips, he sees stories, micro-expressions, and that's why his reads aren't luck, they're art. Tell us in the comments, what's your favorite Daniel Negreanu hand?